Oh, what's up, YouTube? This is Talking Crazy. Back again with another live stream for you. I'm just on the balcony smoking my, you probably can't see it, but it's a CAO Consigliere cigar. After cigar of the evening, morning/morning. I have no libations today because I gotta get up early. I gotta get up in the morning and go to work. How's everybody doing on this beautiful early Saturday morning? Hope everybody's doing very well. I'm not going to keep y'all too long because I got to get some sleep. Oh, Patretta. Oh, Patretta. Ah, yes. This is my favorite time of the year. The NCAA tournament, men's basketball and women's basketball. Probably made a couple of bucks, just nothing much, just some beer money on some of these games there. St. John's made it. Made it to the round of 32. So I'll be checking it out on Sunday if I can manage to get all my work done. Because April 15th is coming around real quick. It's nothing like a good cigar. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking one of my subscribers wanted me to talk about briefly, and I'm going to talk about it briefly, about New York City, about there was an event, an article, something that was going on a couple of weeks ago regarding New York City, where I'm located, that women were being charged $100 to go to a singles event, a speed dating a singles event. But and no one showed up. And there's a reason why they didn't show up. Now, and I'll explain why. And I've been listening to a little bit of views on it, and it's mainly that the women, they talk about the women that attend these events, they're bottom tier women. And I kind of disagree with that. I disagree with that because there is a sense of desperation with some of these women when they get a certain age. It doesn't matter what race of women they are, there is a sense of desperation to get hooked up or find a man, no matter how strong and independent they are. I used to be in that mindset that, women ain't shit, you bitches ain't shit, but which to a certain extent they are. They're not shit. But I've never, and I gotta be honest with you, and this is full disclosure, I've never attended any of these events. I have no desire to attend a singles event, whether I'll be at a church, I'll be at an Eventbrite speed dating event, or any event where there's a mixer, because most people are meeting online or via social media. There are a lot of people that I've known, a couple of people who met through Facebook, on a Facebook group. They met online, they had a nice little conversation, and they took it to the next level, went out, and they just started dating and was automatically in a relationship. I mean, it's complicated, but it's not really that complicated. I mean, if you get out of the house, if you're in your house eating Rocky Road ice cream and watching the 1940s horror flicks, you ain't gonna meet no man. ladies. So it was a waste of, I would say an event for the ladies, it was a waste of money and a waste of time and effort. And fellas, I think you dodged the bullet on this one. I don't think guys should waste their time, money, and effort going to these events. If you can get women in real life, why would you go to an event to meet women? All right? See, I can meet women in real life. I can meet them in the bars, I can meet them in a museum, I can meet them at a social event, which does not entail dating. It could be something in common, like, I don't know, like, I'm interested in video games. I would go to the barcade and play video games all day long. I might run into a chick there. I don't know. Or you may go to a street festival. It's getting warmer. Springtime is coming around. It's getting warmer. You might go to a street fair, or in New York City, where they close off some of the streets down in New York City to have some sort of event on Saturdays and Sundays, and that's where normally people would meet each other, or they introduce themselves, or talk about something that they have in common. But to actually sit by someone and just getting grilled, it doesn't seem appealing, especially if you're socially awkward. Now the question is New York City dating is dead? Well, I wouldn't say it's dead, per se. I think people who live in this city, they're in their own world. It's not a struggle getting bitches. It's not a struggle getting women. It's just different. You have a different approach on finding a woman in this city. Now, if you're talking about getting married and having children and this, that, and the other, you would have to get out of the city. You would have to get out of the city. If you're still living here in New York City and you're still single, you have to get out. But it's not common. I would never go to an event, per se. But, I take a look at my dating life. My dating life, when I went down to South Carolina, I was cleaning up on pussy. Yeah, I was meeting white women left and right. And, some of it as a bar, some is at an event, some is at a mixer. You never know who you're going to meet, and you never know who's going to be attracted to you. See, that's the thing. You have to find out who is attracted to you. All right? Now, if you write down, if you want somebody that's fit, friendly, and cooperative, that could be very vague. It's very broad. There are some fat chicks that are, that's friendly and cooperative. May not be fit, but they may be friendly and cooperative. My criteria of dating is that, number one, you have to be fun to be with. You have to be a fun person. You have to be a good sport, because I'm very goofy. I can be annoying. Despite my persona here on YouTube, I'm actually a fun guy. I'm the fun guy. I'm the life of the party. When I'm with, people generally like my company. And it doesn't matter if it's a woman, man, women, lesbians, gay, they just generally, for some strange reason, they like being in my presence. Okay? They like my energy. Okay? But you got to find out who you are as a person. But if you find out what you want, I like chicks that are fun. You know, not too serious. They don't really take themselves too seriously. You know, where I can have a back and forth banter with them. All right? A little bit of sarcasm here and there. You know? I don't want to hear your issues about your daddy issues on the first date, like that idiot that I dated about a year ago, which really turned. And I gotta be honest with you, it turned me off on black women. I mean, I know. On my last live stream, I said, "Hey, black men, we should give black women a second chance," right? Until I heard what happened down in Houston, Texas, where there was a rodeo down there where all these black bitches running around dressed like skanks. To the point where the organizers had said, "Hey man, we gotta have a dress code from now on." Now, there are white women that dress skanky, but you know, there's a time and place for the skankiness, all right? And the rodeo is not one of those places. I don't know what these bitches are thinking. I don't know what they were doing, but it just seems to me, as a black American man, it's been progressively worse to find a black woman. All right, not saying it's not impossible. It is possible, because I've seen many black men and black women getting together, and it's not a big deal. You know, they genuinely like each other. I mean, if you really like each other, you're going to be together. If you're out there causing drama, causing problems, like when I talked about it, when I briefly touched on it on my last live stream, if you have a bitch that's constantly getting into trouble, letting her mouth write a check that her butt can't cover, and then come run to you like a punk ass bitch to try to handle it. You know, because I'm not getting into no scraps or no issues that a punk ass bitch caused, and you shouldn't either. You're not a cat. You're not a savior of that bitch. That ain't your wife. That ain't your relative. And even if it was my relative, I would tell that bitch, shut the fuck up and let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. See, you want to have a woman that wants to get you out of trouble, not bring trouble to you. Like on these body cam videos I seen, and it's not just black women, all white women too. When they get drunk and mouthy, when they get drunk and mouthy, they become a problem. Okay? That's why I stay away from drunk white women. They become a problem when they get inebriated. I've seen it. And when I've seen it, I take my black ass home. I take my black ass home where it's safe. Because I want all you black men out there to be safe out there. You're gonna run into a woman that's gonna cause problems for you. You want to be at peace. When you see a sign of that shit happening, you get pulled over by the police, and that bitch is mouthing off to the cops, you shut the fuck up and let her get arrested. You say, officer, I am not resisting. I am going to cooperate with you. I don't know what that bitch's problem is. I'm just trying to get my drunk ass home. All right? So I can smoke my cigar, sit on my balcony, smoke my cigar. Troublemaking bitches is gonna be the death of you. And you gotta cut that, you gotta nip that in the bud. When a bitch start arguing with you in public, that means she has no discernment of where she is. And I can see what the problem is, because black women are not, especially American black women, American women in general, but American black women, they have a problem with black men asserting themselves. They have an issue, and it stems from generation after generation after generation of young black women having babies, where younger black women, their own children are having babies, and there's no man in sight. There's no man in the household in sight, and that's a problem. I've been preaching that for years. Whenever there's no man around, if I run into a woman that has an issue that has daddy issues, or have no daddy issues in the house, whereas the woman has to be strong mother and father, and usually little girls, usually women, mothers, have a problem with their little girls. They're always in conflict with each other. Where to the point where these little girls grow up, get pregnant, go on the dole, living in the projects, getting that food stamps, having daddy government taking care of them instead of the brothers that they got knocked up by taking care of business, because he was raised by a female-headed household. And you wonder why guys on YouTube, including myself, always say that single moms are not the best option for a man. See, I almost made that mistake. I almost made that mistake 25 years ago. You know, I talked about it on my 6-part podcast that the bitch messed me up, talking about this bitch. Now, I'm not gonna rehash it because I'm old, and I'm not gonna re-upload those videos because they're gone. First of all, I put them on private, and I don't even listen to that shit anymore because it showed how immature I was. It showed how much game I did not have when it comes to women. It showed that all I cared about was having a family with someone else's child, instead of having a family of my own, starting fresh with that one person who's able to give me a child. Why am I raising? And nobody pulled me aside and said, "Hey, talking crazy. What the fuck are you doing? You're raising somebody else's child." You're not the daddy. No matter what this bitch tells you, you're not the daddy. And that child will let you know that you're not the daddy. See, I'm smart enough. I can get into a relationship with a single mom, but you got to have game about it, players. See, this is what you do. I can date. See, y'all missing the point. I can date a single mom, but I'm gonna just let her know that, look, I'm just here to use up a whole box of condoms on you, and I don't want to meet your child. I don't want to meet your children or child. I'm not taking y'all to Chuck E. Cheese. I'm not going to play pops to him. He's not going to carry my last name. Okay? I'm not adopting him or her. That's your child. That's your lineage. He has no part of my lineage. The best we can do is be friends. But even then, I'm not moving in with a woman that has children. And I made that very clear. And that's what you brothers need to do, is make that very clear to these hoes. That I'm not adopting a child. I'm not his pops. So he ain't got to worry about calling me dad. I'm not going to the PTA meeting with y'all. I'm either one or two things after work. I'm going to be at home, or I'm going to be with my boys watching football, if it's football Sundays. I might attend a sporting event with y'all. I might. Because you gotta be under the understanding, people, that you're not gonna be acknowledged. If you ever get into a relationship with a single mom and their child or children, just be prepared that you're not gonna be acknowledged. You're third on the list of priorities for this bitch. Oh, and also, you ain't paying for shit for that child. You will let her know that you got to use your money. Or call up some of your family members to help out. I'm not helping. I'm not doing shit. Now you might say to me, talking crazy, how long do you think that relationship is going to last? I'm hoping it doesn't last. Because no woman is going to go for that. No American woman is going to go for that. Because it's not my child. I've acknowledged it. I've acknowledged that waterhead child is not my child. Why would I stress out? Why would I stress out over somebody else's child? It's not even mine. And years ago, I was on a social media platform called Black Planet. This actually predated Facebook. Except it was nothing but black folks on it. And I wrote in my profile, and there was Ebony Matchmaker, which was another dating site for the geared to black folks. It sucked. I mean, let me just tell you this. I mean, the dating sites back then sucked. The dating apps now suck. You know, that's worse than going to a speed dating event. A dating event in New York City or in your locale. If you can get women, as a guy, if you can get women, you wouldn't need this shit. You wouldn't need a speed dating event. If you were a woman that's able to attract men, you wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need to go to this shit. But let me tell you something. If you do go, fellas, just don't take it seriously. Just be prepared to get rejected. Be prepared to get clowned. Okay? Just be prepared. Just be prepared that some of these bitches will try to remove your confidence from your body. And I don't want you to lose your confidence. Because as a man, that's one of the things that you have going for you is your confidence. And that's what a lot of your fellas out there, you don't have a confidence in yourself. You don't have confidence in your career. You don't have confidence in dating. You have no confidence in trying new things or getting out of your gosh darn city. You don't have confidence to go buy a plane ticket, fly to Atlanta by yourselves, and explore the city and explore the sites in the cities and talk to other people in that area. Hell, some of y'all don't even have confidence to go ahead and renew your passport and get on a plane to Colombia by yourself. There's a channel I've been watching for years, for the last 10 years. His name is Christopher Smith. Now, he had a channel called The League of Dads, where he was a court coach, where he would coach men on how to navigate through the legal system dealing with child support. All right? And he sounds like he's a very successful guy, mid-50s, former military, educated, cocky, and confident. He's confident in every area in his life except when he's dealing with black women. And he talks about it too. He talks about his relationship with his mom, relationship with his baby mom. I mean, his ex-wife, not his baby mom, his ex-wife, Atia LaShawn Bradley, and his girl and his daughter. And he came out and said, "Fuck it. I have no child. I have no mom. It's just me." He has no family, no friends, no family. And this is a very successful, and I can tell he's very successful in what he's doing in his life. Something that I preach to y'all fellas out there: just be successful, be good at something, man. Master something that would sustain you. So when you get my age, you'll be on cruise control. But yet, his love life, a disaster. And I can honestly attribute it to it because he wanted something. He wanted a family. He wanted a wife. He wanted children. He wanted that family. He wanted that lifestyle. And I wouldn't say he failed at it. He just failed at this relationship. And it just seems like he never recovered. But I can honestly tell you, he can recover. He can recover from this. I know I did. I was hurt years ago, 25 years ago, by some bitch. But it was therapy. When I did that 6-part series, it was therapeutic for me. Because it enabled me to move on with life. Because life is not going to stop because you had a bad relationship or a bad marriage or a loss of a loved one. The world is not going to stop. As a matter of fact, if I were to drop dead today, nobody would give a fuck. And after they bury me in the ground or cremate me turn me into ashes, nobody would give a fuck about me anymore. The next generation won't even think about me. The generation before and afterwards, the generation afterwards will not give a fuck about talking crazy 88. Because let me ask you this, before the delineation movement, did you ever give a fuck about your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather that you paid $50 a month on Ancestry.com to look up your ancestors? Did you really care? No, you didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck prior to the delineation. And that's what I mean. Nobody's going to give a fuck about you 100 years from now. And if you're talking about leaving a legacy, well, you better do something great. You better do something far above average. Remember you. Okay? Because you will be remembered in your circle. But they're going to die off. And what legacy have you left? There's something to that old saying that the more things change, the more things stay the same. People do move on. When you leave a job, people will move on from you. They're not thinking about you. When you move out of the city, away from your friends and family, your friends and family will move on. They will miss you short term, but they will move on. And I believe that Christopher Smith, I don't believe he moved on to bigger and better things socially in his life. I don't know the guy. I don't know him from Adam to Eve. I don't know the guy. All I know is from what I've seen and the stories that he tells on his channel. Just like y'all don't really know me. Talking crazy 88. You only know what I allow you to know. Let me see where we at. Let me see this. This message is hell for a review. I'm 30 minutes in. Let me go ahead and turn this in. I'm probably going to do a live stream tomorrow. I don't know. Probably tomorrow on Sunday. It's going to be the Balcony Chronicles. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But I got to turn in. I got to get some sleep. I got to get up in the morning. I got to get to work. And I got to finish this cigar. It's such a beautiful night. Beautiful morning. And I just want to finish this cigar and turn in. But listen, this is Talking Crazy 88. And I am out of here. And black men, let's be careful out there, all right?